All right, people, welcome to another edition of the New Breed Podcast, the world's best podcast, talking about everything new with you. I'm on behalf of your hosting duo, Jay Horskow. With me, I have my partner in crime, the notorious TIM, Tim Anderson Jr.
Yo.
How's it going? we have some.
I was looking at something else.
Yeah, I was checking out porn on his phone. We have some special guests with us tonight. We have the host of the Red River podcast, host of the If I Ruled the World podcast. Maybe we get a chance to talk about that. Mr. Sam Hoyos. Sam, thanks for joining.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
And last but not least, we have the Podfather, the founder of Dark Satellite Media, the host of the Brooklyn Blast Furnace, the guy who puts the Fonz in Fonz anew, Mr. Jimmy Ferarri. Jimmy, thank you for joining.
Did you just call me the fucking Podfather?
Whatever. We need to read it. So
fucking terrible.
This is a bonus episode for us. It's coming out real quick. We wanted to get together and talk about the disaster, the wonderful disaster that is the Woodstock 99 documentary. So Sam and I have definitely watched it. I think Tim got 5 minutes in and turned it off. Jimmy actually was there. Jimmy has an episode. We're going to link to it in the show notes or on the Brooklyn Blast Furnace where he interviewed a bunch of people who were there. The one guy was like fucking 9 and he was there.
8 years old. Zach Gonzalez. I had to get that guy on. I'm like, first of all, that's ridiculous that you were there at 8. And like, who takes care of you? Like who are your parents? Like, what are you doing?
Was he on one of those kid leashes? Like he had to be on one of those kid leashes, right?
No, he was out grabbing titties, bro.
Jesus.
Just gonna say that.
Yeah. So
sorry.
So let's start with
he was like a cute kid. They let him,
Yeah, of course. He was a little kid at a festival. What did you think would go wrong? It's 1999. So Sam, you watched the whole thing. I watched the whole thing. Tim, were you able to finish it?
Yeah, I finished it.
Sam, what were your thoughts? If you had to sum the whole thing up in a handful of words, what were your thoughts?
The one thing that I will say about Moby is sweet and lovely as he is, he did say one thing that I think was probably the most important thing in the whole documentary was this festival should have been called, Rock Whatever at the Army Base 99 featuring Limp Bizkit. Because when you think of Woodstock, I think people just associate the 69 thing and what you remember it to be. None of us were there, but it's like, oh, peace and love, peace and love. 94 tried it, and they had some of the older acts mixed in with like the Cranberries and like shit like that was like a little less aggressive. And I don't know, people definitely, wild out in 99, close to the millennium. And what I gathered from it was, I don't know, I just watched it. I thought it was cool. I didn't really think anything of it, to be honest with you. It was just a documentary, and it was entertaining to watch. There was a couple of painful parts, like when that guy described the DMX performance. I was thinking like, wow, that is if DMX was alive, he would have just, probably smacked the shit out of that guy.
Right. He would have crashed the interview and started yelling at him.
He would have been like, what the fuck are you talking about? So that's just my, I'll throw some more 2 cents in, but if anyone else wants to talk about that.
Tim, what did you think?
You explained it perfectly. I forget what you said. It was just a bunch of... See, it's hard for me to talk about this without getting myself or this podcast canceled, because that shit was terrible. The blonde chick throughout the whole thing was the fucking most annoying person ever. Like, no.
I love that. But listen, I know Tim a little bit, and I know right now, in his head, he's fucking raging.
Yeah.
And it's amazing because he gets mad. Go on, sorry.
Well, was she the girl that did not have fun? Like, obviously did not have fun.
She won't have fun ever, that girl, in her entire life.
It was demeaning to women. First of all, no one told you had to take your fucking shirt off. Second of all, what did you think was going to happen when there's all these girls around with their fucking tits hanging out? Guys were going to grab it. It was 1999. Fuck off, go back to your fucking hole and shut the fuck up.
The part about that is younger people today don't remember what it's like to be somewhere where there's not a fucking camera everywhere. Not everybody has a cell phone, and not everything that you do is going to end up on Facebook or social media, right? Back then, you could actually have fun and do dumb shit and not get away with it per se, but you can be a little bit more loose, right? You don't have to worry about somebody emailing your boss, some Pinterest board of craziest shit I saw at Woodstock 99, and your mug come flying across like, belly flopping in a pool full of feces, which is really kind of what happened. Jimmy, you were there and you saw the documentary. Like, as you were watching it, what was going through your head? Because you were there and from the sound of it, you remembered most of it. So
I remember a lot of it. There's certain parts. Listen, there was several stages, and I was there from late Thursday night until Sunday afternoon. So there's a lot I remember. There was a lot I don't remember, and there's a lot that I missed simply because there was such a big area, and it just took a long time with the crowd, like, to pick and choose who you want to see, because like there will be a band on the east stage, like the big main stage that I want to see, but there's someone else, so you have to pick and choose. So it's not, I don't know how many, I still have my little thing here, and I remember maybe like 5 bands, you know what I mean? I remember the Rave Tent, I remember like 5 bands, like, vividly. I remember a lot of the fuckery, but I don't say fuckery as it's like a bad thing. I had an amazing time. Like you said, it was 1999. The people in the documentary, most of them weren't even fucking there. Moby's a cunt, but he did. But Sam, you're right. They shouldn't have named it. He didn't have a point. They shouldn't have named it Woodstock 99. That's maybe what. I don't know. Hear that? It's fucking thunder and lightning over here. So
very, very frightening.
Very, very frightening. So the documentary.
So let me give you my take, Jimmy. Here was my summary.
Shut up, Tim.
Here was my summary.
Giving me more to edit over there.
My summary was it's an attempt by it is an attempt to view something ahistorically. They're trying to view Woodstock 99 under the context of, without any context of when it happened in time, right? Because music is one of those things where it's a point in time, right? And movies are a point in time. Literature, art is all point in time. Absolutely. So it's an ahistorical view of Woodstock where you're trying to apply today's social and cultural norms onto something that happened over 20 years ago, right?
It's fucking nonsense.
And that's the part for me where I was getting aggravated, because it's like, do you not know that this is 20 years ago?
22 years ago. Now, that's what drives me fucking insane. Is, first of all, if you weren't there, don't try to put your bullshit spin on it, which goes hand in hand with your way you view shit now in 2021 with your woke fucking culture. Don't do that. You weren't there. To put it bluntly, you have no fucking opinion. In my opinion, you have no say. That's like me fucking saying something about, I don't fucking know. Give me an example, Sam. You're smart. I'm stupid.
That's like you commenting on the hippie culture in the 60s or 70s.
Right. I have no business saying that. Like, I just have no business. I wasn't there. My opinion
your opinion on the Lilith Fair.
Fuck her. Who the fuck is she anyway?
I think I went to the Lilith Fair. I think I actually did one year, but whatever. Continue,
right. So now it's like, yo, man, first of all, I'm just going to get it out so I can just get over my pissed offness. Moby's a cunt. I can't stand him. And let me tell you something. I was never a fan of them, but now I'm even more not a fan of the fucking Offspring. Those two guys.
Oh, that was a terrible look.
I can't fucking take it. I can't take it. And the blonde broad, fuck her too. I originally got super excited when I saw it on the Red River podcast group on Facebook, where Sam posted the link to the trailer for the documentary. And I was like, fucking awesome. Like, awesome. I was there. This is going to be fucking cool. I pressed play, and right off the bat, I started raging in my head. I'm like, they're going to fucking put this 2021 bullshit onto something like that. You're also going to fucking say that it was dark, white, male energy that started this. I wanted to throw my phone.
I mean,
It's
look
like-
at the bands you built.
As a non-whitey, that made me cringe when that girl said
Dude,
that.
it's like, listen,
I was like, wow, that's weird.
how many acts on that entire lineup of Woodstock 99 were, I'll say, people of color? You had James Brown, you had Wyclef,
Kid Rock.
DMX
fuck
and the
else?
Roots. DMX the Roots.
DMX the Roots. Everyone, you have Metallica, Limp Bizkit, Rage Against. What do you expect to have? 400,000 Dominicans?
Yeah, it's like going to a hardcore concert, right? I mean,
Right.
not for nothing.
Like it's gonna be male dominated.
You know what I learned watching
You're
that
gonna have
documentary?
18 ugly chicks.
I had no fucking idea Megadeth even played that festival.
Me neither. I completely forgot. They closed out the whole thing. I was long gone drinking beers, showered at my apartment, watching the fucking place burn.
That's okay. So let's talk about now speaking of cringe, like Sam said, there were some moments where you really cringed. The moment that really made me cringe when I was watching this was when they interviewed the promoter who booked the thing.
Oh.
And they were asking him about all the sexual assaults that happened, right? And a big enough festival, statistically, you're going to see some. But he started to try and like blame the victims, and I was like, bro, that's not a good look.
Listen,
like, what are you saying?
I'm gonna say something right now. I have in one of my photo albums, I have actual photographs because I had a couple of disposable cameras. There were girls all over the place getting their bodies airbrushed. They're completely naked, walking around. Zach, the 8-year-old, has pictures of him with them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I'm like, yo, everyone I was with my ex-girlfriend. I'm like, get together, girls. Let's take pictures. And they're like, whoa. And like, so like,
It was a different time.
One of the first things I remember, I'm walking through this whole sea of people, and there's a huge bus. And there's girls on top with their shirts off getting sprayed with super soakers. They weren't forced to do that. They weren't being victimized. It was called 1999. Everyone's on drugs. Everyone's fucking on ecstasy. It was a huge ecstasy time and acid. And everyone is having fun because there's no jerk-off fucking phones. There's no proof. So people are going to do what they want to do. They're going to let loose. Whatever happens at Woodstock stays at fucking Woodstock. I'm going to have fun. This is the time. This is the, I hate the fucking word, but this is the culture at the time. And that's what happens. And it's like to blame white, dark energy for what happened. It's like, yo, you know what's to blame, I feel? College douchebag jock mentality who think Disturbed is an aggressive metal band. Those douchebags, and Tim knows I'll say it, those douchebags at the hardcore show that wear Jeremy Shockey fucking jerseys and like shoulder block mosh each other.
It's the bro culture. It's the bro culture.
Those bro jerk-offs, them and the assholes that once the fences finally went down because the quote-unquote peace patrol security, they all quit. They're like, fuck this. So everyone's pouring over the gates. So some asshole with a fucking fanny pack goes to a 4-day festival wondering what the fuck is going on. Where's my shit? And next thing you know, you have $5 in your pocket and you're wondering why you're hungry. And it's like jerk off. You go to a 4-day festival, go prepared for class. I was throwing food away on Sunday. So I was prepared.
You talk about that, right, Jimmy? The correlation I kept making in my head, and I was kind of giggling, was I don't know if any of y'all saw the documentaries about the Fire Fest, right? Like people paid to go to Woodstock, and at the end, they started fires, they raided the merch tents, they were throwing food out like food to people. They were having a good time. People paid extraordinarily more percentage-wise, like comparatively, to go to Fire Fest. They ended up on some island with like no shelter, like cheese sandwiches. They couldn't find their luggage. Like I was kind of laughing. I'm like, okay, so
well, yeah, I think people. I was going to say I think people like a good disaster, and that's sometimes what makes a good documentary. And you know, at no point in time that when they announced Woodstock '99 that I think I was going to watch a festival about peace and harmony. I was just
hell no.
This is going to be like a complete train wreck, and we're going to watch 2 hours of it.
Yeah,
right. Well, and you said it, Sam. Like, what did they
Limp
name
Bizkit it? And then Rage after, and then Metallica after,
and then Metallica
isn't a fucking plan for disaster.
Yeah.
Like, what were you thinking with that lineup, right? And it was so out there, Rome, New York is in the middle of freaking nowhere, right?
So
the air base is in the middle of nowhere.
So good.
but my point being is, it's not like it's some warp tour that I can come in and out of. They allow re-entry, right? So I can go out to my car and chill out if there's a bunch of bands. Like, you have a bunch of amped up bros there for the weekend to see the Chili Peppers, Megadeth, Metallica, Seven Dust, Reveille. You had a lot of new metal bands. You had Limp Bizkit. You had Korn. You had Rage. I mean, what demographic were you trying to target, right? I mean, one of the funnier things, I will say this, one of the funnier things I saw in the documentary was they went back to the cringy guy who tried to blame the girls, the promoter, and he was making fun of Kurt Loder, who made it sound like he was like Dennis Hopper at the end of Apocalypse Now. And the promoter said, I think Kurt Loder always wanted to be a wartime reporter, and this was his chance, because Kurt Loder was like, they're storming the gates and we need to get out of here. And it's like,
oh my God.
You're not in the demilitarized zone.
Yeah, they made it seem like it was complete chaos, anarchy, and everybody was destitute from day one. I'll tell you this. Even though I was prepared for class, right? When we got there Thursday night, everything was cool. I was like drunk when we got there. The first thing I did was suck down like $20 worth of fucking nitrous balloons. I didn't complain that each balloon was $5, and I would huff it and then wind up on the floor, and half of it would be buzzing away in the fucking air. But you do these things at festivals. But then Friday was awesome. Saturday was.
That was the hot day, right, Jimmy? The day it was like 100-something degrees.
I had this tattoo on the back of my arm right here was about 3 days old when I went there. It was fucking hot. But then again, what am I going to do? Complain? Jerk off. It's the fucking end of July. What do I expect? I can't complain about the heat. I signed up for a 4-day festival on an abandoned Air Force base.
When you put it that way.
Why am I complaining? I put myself in that situation. So I'm going to put myself in that situation. I am going to be as prepared as I possibly can for whatever happens. I'm not the asshole that got sunburnt. I had sunblock. Even though I had to go take a shit, I wasn't relying on savages leaving me toilet paper. I brought toilet paper. I worked at a deli. I had like fucking 15 pounds of cold cuts and dozens of bagels that I was throwing away at the end. I walked in with a case of beer. I was prepared, bro.
I just pictured Jimmy standing there going, hey, you want some gabagool? You want some gabagool?
Yeah.
I got some gabagool. You want some
probably
gabagool?
No, I don't think I had gabagool. I think I had a little Genoa salami, though. I did. I was making sandwiches. There was a bunch of people around me. I touched on this on the podcast that I did. I think they drove from Michigan or something like that. And I got this really dope spot in one of the tented areas. And I gave, I don't know how many I fucking food like crazy. I gave out fucking 15 bagels and I was throwing pounds of cold cuts at people. Here, make sandwiches. You guys are hungry? We're all smoking pot and all hanging out together. And I got that one spot. It cost me a beer. I was hammered and I had no idea. It was midnight Thursday night. I'm walking with a huge cooler. Some dude who was on God knows what. It's like, yo, what's up, man? I got a dope spot. I'm like, all right, where are you? He's like, I'll tell you if I can get one of them beers. I threw him a beer. Let's go. Let's hang out. It was just fucking cool. And then Saturday rolls on. It was super fucking hot. It was the first time me and my ex-girlfriend got separated because Limp Bizkit came on and she was never in a crowd like that. Not even that size, but a rowdy crowd, like a hardcore show. She was never into that stuff. So once they came on and shit got a little hectic, I remember it vividly. She looked at me, she was like, oh my God. And then she got washed away. And I didn't see her for like 3 hours. But we said, meet back at the tent if we get separated. So Limp Bizkit's going on. I was in that whole shit show. I wasn't breaking anything. I was on fucking drugs. I was hanging out, having a good time. And then I went back a little bit before Limp Bizkit's set was over. I made my way all the way back to the tent because I knew Rage was going on next. And I had on probably, they weren't the big crazy ones, but they were a little bit long. And they were like, jeans, but they were Jinko jeans. Shut the fuck up.
No, I'm not talking shit. I got a pair upstairs.
Right. Oh.
It's a new metal podcast, Jimmy. Come on.
Yeah,
Right.
I was going to say the same thing. Like
I had Jinko shorts on and a tank top. And then I knew that Rage was next. And I'm like, I'm going to be in the middle of this fucking gigantic fucking shit show of a pit for Rage. So I went back and she was at the tent. So I put on jeans and my Timberland boots and I had my hat on backwards like I was getting ready for business, And then I went back and I went nuts. It was insane to be in one of the very many mosh pits surrounded by 300,000 people on like a handful of acid. It was an experience. Then I went back, and that's why I still say that I'd never seen Metallica live, but I heard them from my tent. I went back to my tent and I heard them open Creeping Death and shit.
You left a day early, right?
I left on Sunday.
So how early is that?
Well, Sunday was Sunday late afternoon is when the fire started.
Okay.
But then we're talking Saturday was Metallica and all that, and then Sunday we probably left. I'm gonna say maybe like 2-3 o'clock in the afternoon. Because the way the lineup was, there wasn't too many bands that I wasn't going to wait around fucking 4 hours, 5 hours after this crazy hot, drug-fueled weekend to watch the Chili Peppers. Like, I wasn't having it. I was never really a big fan anyway, so it just wasn't worth it. We were shot. We were like, this was fucking amazing. Let's go. I don't even remember that there was probably traffic like crazy. I don't remember that. I do remember getting back into my old apartment, couldn't wait to get in the shower. I took a shower, I shaved, I went into the refrigerator, I cracked a Heineken, I sat down on my fake black leather couch, and I put my fucking TV on, and at the time, we had like the illegal hot cable boxes.
Right, the hot box, yeah.
Yeah, so I had that, so I had all the pay-per-view channels, so I put the TV on, and Woodstock was on fire. And I'm like, what the fuck is going on there?
What the fuck happened in the time I left and the time I came?
Yeah, I was like, holy shit.
I mean, that was actually, if you think about it, that was kind of terrible idea by the promoter because they handed out fucking candles. They handed out candles. You're going to take a to your point, Jimmy, right? Everybody's tired. They're hot, right? They probably haven't taken a good dump in a couple of days because the toilets are overflowed and most people don't have toilet paper and they're not using their left hand, right? And you're going into a time where they're handing out candles. It's like, what? And again, it's a young white bro culture.
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen? By the way, one of the funnier parts of that documentary is when the promoter says he pulled Anthony Kiedis aside and goes, hey, we got to get this under control because this is kind of getting fucking nuts, right?
And then he goes, Fire by Jimi Hendrix.
Here's our encore, and they cover Fire by Jimi Hendrix. Just by the way, if you're listening to this episode, check out Red Hot Chili Peppers' Mother's Milk if you haven't. It is a fucking amazing album.
It's my favorite by them.
Yeah. Well, the next one's pretty good. What is it?
Yeah, I love Blood Sugar Sex Magic's
and
great.
even 1 minute.
It's great, but Mother's Milk is my favorite.
What's the one after that? One minute.
Hot minute.
One hot minute with Dave Navarro.
Dave Navarro. Yeah, My Friends is a great song.
The irony of all of this, because I have this thing right here, okay? And I think I read this on my podcast, but it doesn't matter. We're different audiences here, fellas. It even says, please bring, and then obviously the first thing is your ticket. It's stupid shit. Please leave at home. What a shit show. Alcoholic beverages. I rolled in with a case of 22-ounce bottles of Heineken. Illegal drugs. 250,000 out of 300,000 people were on drugs for 4 days straight. Weapons, firearms, stoves and grills, metal objects such as knives, axes, hatchets, shovels, pots, and pans.
Imagine if Jimmy tried to go through the gate with one of those giant like halberds, like thing. Like, yo, what do you need that for? Yo, how do you know I'm not going to need this?
Right. Lanterns, air horns, because, you know, air horns, it might be loud at a festival. Umbrellas. So if it rains, you know, you can't bring an umbrella. Could be, you know, a device used for stabbing people. Glass or metal cans, bottles, containers, fireworks or incendiary devices, but they hand out candles.
I feel like they handed out candles because in their head they're probably thinking Woodstock, Jimi Hendrix.
Yeah, that was the point. It was a big
point, but it's like
I think the disassociation between the crowd that are probably like, who the fuck is Jimi Hendrix?
Exactly.
And why the fuck do we care?
I will say this though, you know, Jimmy mentioned early on, and the girl who was miserable in the documentary, she did make one valid point.
No, she's.
Well, I'm going to give her this. She had one valid point. If you're listening, come on the show. We can talk. God knows she's not listening. No, she's not in our target demographic. Let's be honest here. She made the remark where she said, you know, with the music going until after 1 a.m. and then the rave tent and the music would start again, you could literally go nonstop. And let's be honest here. Some people, when they're in their early 20s, don't know how to party for 4 days straight. Like they kind of fall apart and lose their minds, right? Like, granted, Jimmy doesn't drink anymore. Sam doesn't drink. Tim and I drink like fish, right? If we had to right now, if I came to you and put a gun to your head and said, I need you to rage like an absolute lunatic for 4 days, you could definitely do it, right? Back then, if you would put the gun in my head and told me to rage for 4 days, I would have been snorting everything not nailed down and I would have lost my fucking mind. So you had a lot of people who in 100-degree heat on drugs, drinking on baking on a hot airplane runway, kind of lost their minds.
But check this out. In 1999, I was a seasoned veteran. I was full-blown fucking alcoholic, fucking acid, ecstasy, weed, angel dust. It didn't matter. I would be able to go and go and go, which I did at Woodstock. I didn't go 4 days straight. I'm sure, I don't remember obviously, but I'm sure I got a couple hours here and there. It wasn't, definitely didn't get 8 hours sleep at all. No way. Maybe if I got 8 hours throughout the whole weekend, maybe. But how about this though? I didn't destroy anything.
Yeah.
I didn't act like a jerk off. I wasn't grabbing titties except for my ex-girlfriends in the tent like a creep. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe, you know, I think I said this on the podcast, on the one that I did. You know, if you're in a room with 25 people, there's a pretty good chance that 5 of those people are jerk-offs.
Yeah. Yeah, it's pretty good odds.
It's just pretty good. It's just odds. You know what I mean? So, you know, you get anywhere between 300,000 or 400,000 people. A good 5% of them are going to be jerk-offs, and then the other ones, and then the other ones are going to just follow the crowd because it's fun, and why the fuck not? No one's going to know, and let's just rage because whatever the fuck. So that's what happened. And I mean, I'm not blaming the fucking. Listen, people blame the water was expensive. I said it too. I gave this dude fucking $20, $25. I got 4 waters out of the deal. I couldn't have been fucking happier. It was so fucking hot that I would have gave the guy $50 without complaining. And first, another thing, it's 2021. It's 22 years later. Why are people still complaining about a bottle of water from a festival 22 years ago? Did it really destroy you that much? There's a group on Facebook, Woodstock 99. There's maybe like 1,200 people in it, not that many, but I'm in it. And the vast majority, even the girls are on there. Best weekend of my life. Everyone is like, the documentary is fucking shit. And it's like, you have nothing to blame but your own personal fucking behavior for what happened. Period. I'm not blaming the heat. Oh, it's hot out. I'm going to go act like a douchebag. Oh, water's $4. I'm going to act like a fucking asshole. What the fuck is wrong with you? Maybe if you had any sort of a functioning brain, which back then I really didn't. But I was prepared. And I had no fucking problems. Was it hot? Fuck yeah, it was. So what?
It's
You go to
350,000.
your fanny pack that was the rage in 99.
Hey, they're back
And you
in
pull out
style,
money
Jimmy.
that you might have saved. Listen, the tickets were $170, I think, for 4 days. So I paid $350 for me and my ex-girlfriend to go. I think I brought like $800 in cash in me. I'm not going to think that water's going to be $1. At that time, you go to a club in New York City, you want a cup of water, you're paying $5 for it.
I think of that line, and you made me think of that line in Beverly Hills Cop 2, where he walks to a strip club and he goes, "Can I get a Coke?" That'll be $7.
Of
$7. I can get blown for $7. Sam, you were going to say something? You were going to say something?
Yeah,
Sam?
I was 350,000 people. I would imagine there's 350,000 different experiences. So that's something to take into consideration.
Well, this is just me.
Not everyone.
My bad.
Yeah. I'm just saying. I think everyone is just going to have a different perspective, but I think most people, I would say 99% of the people there probably had a good time. It was
We had a blast.
Sure.
Yeah,
They probably had a blast.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I'm a huge music festival fan, so to me, like I would never go camping anywhere. I wouldn't go camping without, it's just camping is not my thing. So more than likely, I probably wouldn't have gone somewhere more than a day.
Right.
But yeah, to me, it's you look at that and you got to be prepared to go to war for 4 days.
You're gonna go rough it. You're going to rough it.
Yeah, and when you don't, like Jimmy was like, "Fuck it, I'm good, I'm done." I left Sunday. Yeah, that's it. So that was enough.
We did our damage. We had a great fucking time. Let's try to get out of here before there's even more traffic, so we can go home and I can wash my balls.
Yeah, but the funny thing is, these are the same people that complained about like the shitty toilets and all that are the same people that go to an Eagles game or a fucking Giants game or a Jets game and they piss all over the place. They throw their fucking trash everywhere.
Yep.
It's like,
But
some
like,
people are
shut the fuck up.
legitimately unhappy. Now I got a picture of Sam at like Glastonbury, like one of those glamping shows, right? Where you go and you stay in a cabin and there's like full course service. And like Sam gets up and his shoes are laid out. And he steps into it. He goes, "All right, now I'm going to go watch fucking Bono. I'm going to watch Bono and you too." No, I would do that. If I could afford it, I would do it too.
Yeah.
I would. Yeah, that's my.
It is true though. The organizers. How many fucking, what was it like? I don't even know. Coming off the top of my head, what was it like? Maybe 1,000 porta potties? You should have had more.
Yeah, the poor planning. It was poor event.
That was just shitty. You should have had more of those. But I know that I think I probably took a dump maybe the first day, like Friday. I guarantee I did because I took a picture of the fucking shitty toilet. I have a picture of it. But then I did because I had a disposable camera and I wanted to document the poop. And that's what I did. And I still have it. So, but it wasn't overflowing and there wasn't idiots sliding around in my shit yet.
Which is another part I was like.
Those are the assholes that ruined it. What's wrong?
Right, how do you not see the puddle and see the porta potty and see the puddle and not put two and two together? I don't care how fucked up you are and what substance. How do you not put two and two together and get formed like, it's a bad look?
How many people have an unnamed disease right now from that weekend?
You goddamn right.
But then again, if you live through that, you probably don't need the COVID vaccine, right?
No.
Like you're basically invincible at this point, right?
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah, I mean, but getting back to the documentary, like Sam said, I can't agree more. They're not going to make the documentary peace, love, and all kinds of love. The history, unless you were there, anything documented about Woodstock 99, they're not going to be nice to it. They're just not. But I hate the fact that that's what, I mean, I know it is what it is. I get it. But they just focused on Limp Bizkit, Rage Against the Machine, prices, fire. That's it. Like I said, from Thursday night till Sunday, I don't know, 2:00. Yeah, were people going crazy? There weren't riots yet. There was no fires yet. But from Thursday night to fucking Sunday morning, it was fucking awesome. Besides the assholes, swimming around in shit. all right, listen, everyone here has been through a hardcore show or a really packed show, and we've all seen it. That when there's the one annoying girl that needs to have her attention because, I want to crowd surf, yay me. And, you always see that one jerk off, grab her crotch, grab a tit real fast. That's going to happen. We've all seen it.
Because like you said, percentage-wise, for everybody there that's there in a positive mind and for a good time, there's a percentage that are just assholes.
Oh, of course. So there's going to be a girl crowd surfing over the top of, and she'll pass by fucking 150 guys that won't touch her except to keep her up. And then there's that one jerk off who's going to go a quick grab, and then that's it. Yep. And then the whole thing, it's a grope fest. Girls were abused, this, that, the other thing. No. There's a couple of jerk-offs that should have got cracked in the mouth because you're an asshole.
Yep.
And that's that. It's like, come on, man.
That's the part that pissed me off the most about it. It's just like that girl's just there to like make men look bad. And it's like, listen.
But Jimmy nails it, right?
Saying, yeah.
There's a percentage of dudes that are just not good. I'm going to steal Trumpism. They're bad hombres, right? There's a percentage of that when you put more than 10 of us together. Like Jimmy said, at least 30% of us are assholes. And then you have drugs and alcohol in the mix. And then you have the college bro asshole. Yep.
Who's never been to a show or just is just there just to party.
Just funny you mentioned that, Jimmy, because my friends that went, Lord knows they'll never listen to this. My friends that went, two of the guys were definitely bros. Like, yo, I got my structure pants and my fucking Birkenstocks. And the third guy, I used to beg to take him to shows and never wanted to go. And he went. So I was like, who the fuck is going? Like, you're right. It definitely drew some of those bros, college guys. Yeah.
Those were your friends?
They were. I mean, I don't
like your friends.
Yeah, well, I don't talk to most of them anywhere either. So whatever. I got a whole new bunch of degenerate friends. So I will say,
let's get into the Limp Bizkit aspect of this, since I think that's what.
Okay, I'm gonna rage. Can I freak out? Right?
Yeah. So like from what I always thought that the fire started during them, and then when I watched it, I was like, oh, it was during Rage, or right?
No, it was during Chili Peppers. Sunday.
Chili Peppers. That's right.
Yeah.
Sunday.
It drives me fucking
bananas. The very end.
Well, here's the thing, though. Back then, Limp Bizkit was one of the biggest bands in the world. Yes. What did you think 350,000 people were going to do? Stand there and fucking hold each other's hands?
Dude.
Right? And they were purposefully antagonistic. They were purposefully get you up, get you moving, right?
Yes.
There's a difference between,
that's a Limp Bizkit show.
Yes.
And they should have been antagonistic.
You're goddamn right.
They were the biggest band in the world.
Yes.
They want to sell records.
This was 99. This was on the back of Significant Other. Chocolate Starfish hadn't come out yet. Break Stuff was huge. Rearranged was huge. The song with Method Man. I mean, they were on top of the goddamn world. And to blame them, right, for doing they're just as culpable as every other fucking band on that.
I don't remember the band that was on right before Limp Bizkit. I do not remember. But I was standing in that crowd for whatever band that was. And all I know is that it was almost getting annoying how many people during that band was screaming, "Bring on Limp Bizkit." People could not wait until Limp Bizkit took that stage. I was in the middle of it, and I was like, and at that time,
same stage, Jimmy, same stage.
Yes,
it was that day. Saturday was Tragically Hip, Kid Rock, Wyclef, Counting Crows, Dave Matthews, Alanis, and then Limp Bizkit.
So it was Alanis because I'm a fan of Alanis Morissette. I said, "Fuck you if you don't like that."
She writes good music. But if you look at the overall lineup of this weekend, right? Friday night. You have Spitfire, Oleander, Mo, right? Mo is like a Philly staple, right? Umbilical Brothers, Lit, Buck Cherry, The Roots, Insane Clown Posse, George Clinton. Spitfire, Guster, Bruce Hornsby, Everclear, Collective Soul, Los Lobos, Mickey Hart, Chemical Brothers. At no point have you reached like an aggro bro band yet. And then you have Spitfire, Mike Ness, Our Lady Peace, Rusted Root, Seven Dust, first aggro bro on that stage. And that is 5:15 p.m. on Sunday. Ice Cube, Godsmack, and Megadeth. Did anybody see fucking Megadeth? If you were there and you saw Megadeth, please call us because we want to have you on. And then the other stage is Sugar Ray, Jamiroquai, Live, Sheryl Crow, DMX, Offspring, Korn, and Bush. Korn, is the first aggravant. DMX, that was the other thing where the guy was talking about how uncomfortable it was to have a sea of white people saying the N-word. It's like, again, you're trying to view things ahistorically. This was 1999.
Yes.
Nobody gave a shit.
No.
DMX didn't give a shit. He was a platinum selling artist.
What a weird thing to say. Like
Weird, dude.
That was the thing that was the first time that I the rest of the stuff didn't really bother me until we got to that point, and I turned to my girlfriend and I was like, holy shit, who is this guy? Because like I told you, I just feel like DMX would have just he would have just given that dude a wedgie right there.
That's That's a dude looking for Twitter followers and replay or likes
terrible.
Or fucking reposts and shit.
That's the same guy who said that new metal basically bites off of black culture. It reappropriates black culture. And that was where I literally I paused the movie. And I'm sitting there and I'm thinking, I'm like, maybe this guy's right. That. Right. And I'm staring off into space trying to put it together. And I'm like, no, man, it's not happening. I don't know what
he said it in the movie.
It appropriates black culture. Yes.
Yeah.
New metal. Right now, Sam. Now we're saying.
I don't even know what that means.
He said that a bunch
Jenko
of
shorts
white
and his
kids.
wife beater and his backwards hat. Right. And Fred Durst are appropriating black culture. I didn't get that. I didn't understand it. Where does that come from? Can you show your work?
I think when you're making something like this, you're going to go through all your talking heads and you're piecing together like the agitators, and that's how someone like that gets in, and then you get the neutral people, and then you get the oblivious people that were like, oh yeah, we know, whatever, was cool, I was there. But when you get to we're talking about that guy.
Yeah,
that's
I
true.
was just going to say that exactly.
Yeah. And if I think his name is Wesley Morris. He writes a Rolling Stone. If you are listening, please come on the show and explain that, because I'm legitimately curious. I'm legitimately curious to see that logic tree where you got to that point.
It's 2021. He'll make it say people will think logic is no more.
Did you let's talk about it, Jimmy. You were there. Who stood out for you? Did you catch the Kid Rock set? Because honestly, when I watched that video,
I fucking did.
Yo,
you got damn right
amazing.
I did.
He came out in the fucking pimp coat with the cane.
Yo, and it was fucking, what's his fucking face? Fucking
Mini Me.
Yeah, no, he announced Limp Bizkit.
He announced. Oh, okay.
He announced Limp Bizkit. No, but that's when what was the midget?
Joe,
Joey
whatever
C.
his name was, Joe C. Yeah,
Joe C. Bro. I was standing there. It was hot as balls. And when I saw him come out, I didn't stay for the whole set, maybe 3-4 songs. Listen, at that time, I was not a huge fan of Kid Rock. I wasn't even really, honestly, I really wasn't even too familiar. I knew who they were and I heard some shit, but I couldn't say that I was a fan of Limp Bizkit even. You know what I mean? I went there for basically for the experience. We're going to go there for 4 days and we're going to have fun and we're going to do drugs and we're going to fucking hang out and watch fucking Rage Against the Machine and Metallica, and we're just going to have fun. There wasn't any specific bands really, a couple. But Kid Rock, I remember, I saw, and it was amazing. Wyclef's set was trash, but one thing does stick out, and it was probably because of the acid. He told everybody to throw their water bottles. And I was standing off to the side. Now, me standing off to the side, and I'm looking, there's probably 100, because I'm standing on instead of it being long, I'm standing on one of the long sides looking through over the short side. You know what I'm saying? From stage east, stage right to left. That's the view I have. There was probably about 100,000 people that I'm looking at. And he told people to throw their water bottles. And it seemed like there was 1 million water bottles in the air at the same time, just flying all over. And I was just like, this is crazy. So his set was trash, but I watched it. I like Alanis Morissette. I always did. I like that Jagged Little Pill record. It's my guilty pleasure. I don't care what anyone says.
It's great. It's great.
She writes good music. What are you?
It's great. I watched
the lyrics.
Set.
I'm sorry. The lyrics to that first single.
You gotta know.
You gotta know. Those lyrics. those some real ass lyrics right there.
Yeah, man. Yeah. She was like pissed off, and she was just cool. Like I dig that record. So I made sure I watched her, and she was great. But then, like 3/4 of the way through her set, everyone's screaming for Limp Bizkit. Of course, I remember the Limp Bizkit set. I remember when people started to break down the fucking sides of the edges with the plywood. But I did not witness him get up onto the top of the plywood because I was heading back to my tent to change to go back to Rage. You know what I mean? Rage, I remember, and it was fucking awesome. I don't even remember them lighting the fucking flag on fire because I wasn't paying attention. Like, really? I wasn't standing there watching them. I was in the middle of 300,000 people losing my shit on hallucinogenic drugs. And so I really wasn't watching the theatrics on the stage. They stuck out to me. I lost my fucking marbles in the Rave Tent Saturday night. I got my ex-girlfriend out of the tent. She was all geeked out on fucking the same drugs I was on. But we made our way while Metallica was playing. I think the plan was maybe to go head back down to the East Stage to check them out. But then we stumbled upon the Rave Tent. And the Rave Tent was insane. And I'm not a techno guy, but I've been to a couple of raves. And when you're on that kind of shit, it's kind of fun. So I went there and we were in there for like 3 hours and I was on another fucking planet. It was Fatboy Slim was
Oh, by the way, I'm sorry. He put out a couple of really good albums in the late 90s, early aughts. The guy has talent.
I was on another planet.
You're on Mars.
Another planet. It's like all the music it shifted your mood and it was crazy.
You should be on Mars if you're at something like that. You
goddamn right. But I was on Mars, but I was like lovey-dovey fucking Jimmy Ferarri. I wasn't jerk off fucking
right, trying to set fire to things. Yeah.
You know what I mean? So yeah. But if I was to pick the one set that really stood out for me was probably Rage, because that was the band that gun to my head, I went there to see the most if I was to pick a band. But like I said, it was more like, let's just go to Woodstock and fucking be on another planet for 4 days.
Yeah.
You know, I was in full party mode. At that time, my ex-girlfriend was, and it was the time. So, dude, I was 24 years old. You know, I was 24, not even 25. I turned 25 in September. I was 24 years old. And that's what you did, man. And it's like,
I mean, nowadays, everybody is so wound so tight. People don't realize that studies have shown that your prefrontal cortex, the part of you that makes you an adult, doesn't fully attach to your brain, your cerebrum, until 26. So before that, you're basically a child. You're basically still a child. So I can think about the shit I did in the early 20s. It's kind of like, Jesus, I can't believe I got away with that. But I mean, you talk about throwing water bottles on stage. The same thing happened in 94 when Primus came out and played My Name is Mud and they started winging the fucking cow pies on.
Yeah.
What did you think was going to happen? Or Red Hot Chili Peppers played Jimi Hendrix's Fire when everybody has candles and matches. It's like, it doesn't take a Mensa candidate to understand what is about to happen here. And it's not going to be fun.
You got a band playing Killing in the Name of.
Yeah.
One of the biggest bands of that time as well. Like,
of course, it was fucking huge, man. It's like they fucking opened up with, I think, Bulls on Parade, I think. And it was fucking bananas. Like, I still, even though like they're frauds and this and that, whatever the fuck, their message, whatever. But that first record, bro.
You changed. That's what happened.
I didn't fucking change. I didn't change. But that first record, still to this day, is fucking incredible. Nobody sounded like that. That shit was on constant rotation for literally years. Evil Empire, years.
Yep.
The shit that he was saying was crazy. I'm like, yo, this motherfucker just said that he's going to drive down Rodeo Drive with a shotgun.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck is happening? That shit is hard, and I'm all about it.
They were that was like height. That was 99. Like they were that was as high as they've ever gone. That was height rage.
Yeah. And
at that point they've been touring. They've been touring Evil Empire for.
I tied my fucking boots tight and fucking went in there with my fucking carpenter Tommy Hilfiger jeans and my fucking wife beater.
Man, we're dating ourselves here.
Oh fuck yeah!
But Sam is right though. I mean, that album came out in what, the spring of 96 was Evil Empire. So at that point, they're 3 years into touring that album. They are never bigger than they're
we're into Battle of Los Angeles.
We're into Battle. We're into Battle.
No,
it was 99.
out at that point.
Battle was 99.
Oh, I didn't even know that. Jimmy, while I got you, you were at one of those Roseland shows, right? Where they sold out the Roseland 5 nights in a row for Evil Empire.
Yes, I was at one of them.
Jesus Lizard opened. It was one of the most amazing shows I've ever seen.
I don't remember the opener. I do remember that they did it. What I don't think, to my recollection, I don't even think that Evil Empire was out yet, because they opened up with a very, very early version of Down Rodeo.
No, it was out. Hold on.
Not the one I was at. Don't tell me, horse cow.
No, I can tell you because I save all my shit here. If it's
you have my ticket stub?
Well, I got mine, motherfucker. Hold on.
Maybe we weren't at the same show.
It was this August 19th, 1996.
No, I was in the Air Force drinking like a fucking savage.
Oh, well, yeah, we were definitely.
I was there earlier. It was like 93, maybe.
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to have to look in my fucking bag of tricks over. You see these photo albums?
Yeah, not for nothing.
Some of those have ticket stubs.
Today's kids these days don't know the excitement of keeping a ticket stub. So listen, we're quickly running out of time. I know Sam has got a jet, so I want to go around the horn real quick. Sam, talk about your show for a bit. Give people a little bit of background, where they can hop in, where they can get involved, with that horrible contest you're running where people said 1408 is a better movie than The Dead Zone. What am I, a bizarre world?
Me and Jimmy voted 1408.
Goddamn right.
What's wrong with you people?
So underrated.
I grew up with The Dead Zone. I grew up with The Dead Zone.
Christopher Walken. Your father carried this watching his ass. Go on.
So the Facebook for Red River podcast is like pretty poppin'. I mean, more people go there than listen to the show, which is fine. It's like, but I do the tournament things just to create shit, just to have.
It's fun though. It keeps people like. I know that I'm like, all right, 1408, and then I know that there's going to be round 2, so it makes me all right, cool. Now I go back and yeah. Some people need to be fucking killed because they have no good.
Stand by me over everything.
It's no, I mean, it'll probably be Stand By Me and Shawshank for sure, which would be super tough, but I mean, shout out to Ray Brower. But yeah, man, it's just like, it's great. Red River Podcast, we talk a lot of nonsense and we invite people on, and it's kind of like I like it. It's a passion project. I like playing music more, but podcasting is definitely number 2. And that's it, man.
Awesome.
I think all of us, it's the same thing. Like passion projects. Like our lives are consumed with shit that make us no money.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean,
it consumes all of our time.
Every guy should have 3 hobbies: one that helps him grow his skills, one that makes him money, and one that like helps him relax. And it's like, all of us just do the relaxing.
No, I get stressed out.
Yeah, it's fucking terrible. And for anybody who's listening, also, Sam used to be one of the co-hosts of the If I Ruled the World podcast. Yeah. Go back. They interviewed a great bunch of New York luminaries. It's an awesome Tim Williams from VOD episode. There's an interview with what's his name, the guitarist, is it Justin Beck from Glassjaw, which I thought was great. The interview with the dude from Caffeine, I thought was fucking awesome.
Oh, you like that?
Yeah, it was awesome, dude. I had like 3 pairs of those pants, right? Like that guy was trying to start a movement. God bless him. But yeah, go back and check out that stuff. Yeah, Sam did
If I Ruled the World also had fucking Michael Alec on.
We did. Yeah.
Yes, you did. I forgot about that.
That was fucking crazy.
Phil Anselmo. I'm like talking to him. I was like, "What's up, Phil?"
That's weird.
That's
Michael Dowd, like the dirtiest cop on the planet.
Oh, that was a good episode too. Yeah.
I gotta go. I don't think I listened to that. I gotta fucking.
No, it's good.
We just did random shit. Like like Red River is so niche where it's like it's my interest, and George is a lot brighter and smarter than me. So whenever he picked a guest, it was like kind of like just random shit. So. And everyone loves good. Everyone loves the Mind Over Matter, so people love George, and that's why they did a lot of cool stuff for him. So.
Yeah, Red River's a dope podcast. I listen to him all the time.
Yeah, I forgot you interviewed Michael Dowd. That was he was the dirtiest cop in the world, right? The Staten Island guy, whatever. He was,
but he was also
Long Island.
The 7-5, right? The 7-5 documentary.
Yeah.
Fucking
which is fucking ridiculous.
Yeah,
fucking awesome. I think I'm gonna bite your style and hit that fucking guy up. I'll fucking talk to that guy all day long.
All we're doing is stealing from each other's Rolodexes. Jimmy, if people want to find you, where do they go?
Just go to Instagram and follow at the Brooklyn Blast Furnace. That's it. When is this episode coming out?
Not tomorrow, but a week.
Oh, okay. I will be just taking. I was just gonna kill the whole podcast. I don't know. I was in the moment. I'm like, I'm done. Like I'm fucking finished. But then I don't know. Maybe I'm just mentally unstable from the acid. I don't know. But I came out of it and I changed my mind, which I do a lot. But I'm just going to. I have 2 episodes that I'm gonna drop, and then I am going to I'll probably be recording a few, but I'm just going to take this. There's going to be 1 month where I'm not releasing anything.
Yeah, fuck it.
Just 1 month. And listen, 3.5 years of every single Friday at noon, I'm dropping episodes. It's a fucking
grind. It's a grind.
I just want a month. I just need a month. I need a month.
Yeah, it's a grind, brother. It's a grind. We get you.
Yeah, and it's fun, but I just need a little bit of downtime, But it's not even going to be downtime because I'm sure I'm going to want. The only thing I'm not going to be doing is posting them because I'm probably going to be recording. I'm probably going to be making fucking flyers. So it's kind of like half time.
Flyers.
Yeah.
So my favorite, before I take us out, my favorite Jimmy Ferarri interview was I forget who was on the show, but it was back when John from Candiria was still on the show. And John makes the remark that I have never seen the movie The Thing. And there's this real pregnant pause. And then you hear Jimmy go, "You got fucking problems, bro." Dude, I burst out laughing. I think I was like mowing the lawn. I was dying. I was like, oh my God, he fucking nailed it. So check out Jimmy's show. Check out Sam's show. A lot of good stuff there. A lot of good content. Not all the same stuff. Again, we're a new metal show, but Sam's doing movies and all this other crazy shit. Jimmy is going wherever his heart takes him. He is all over the place.
Yeah,
I'm waiting for the Ezak episode where things really get unhinged.
At this point, I'm just like,
just
whatever.
Talk to Jimmy's a horror fan, so there's a lot of horror actors and actresses on. It's really, really a wild show. So once again, I want to thank everybody for listening on behalf of the Forbes. I want to thank you for tuning in again. Hopefully we didn't offend anybody, but if we did, it says more about you than it does about us. Find us at newbreed_podcast on Twitter and Instagram. We do have a Facebook group. I don't remember the name. It's an interesting mix of new metal fans and people who think we are New Breed, the UK Christian rappers. So what a hell of a melting pot we got going on there. So once again, on behalf of Tim, Sam, Jimmy, and myself, I want to thank all of you for listening. And until next time, this is New Breed saying cheers.
Thank you, gentlemen.